You're about to see a matchup between two of the strongest schools we've ever known. Next on Quiz Kids.
It's the Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, we have two incredibly strong teams today, starting out with last year's champions. It's the Bellarmine Bells. And their opponents today are the Beasts, the Harker Eagles. Gentlemen, let's get started with our first three-for-all round. I'm going to ask you a 5-point toss-up question. If your team gets the answer right, you get to answer the following question. Answer that one correctly, you get a third, and you'll increase your score from 5 to 10 to 25. Good luck. Here's your first toss-up. The African National Congress runs this country. Yes, John.
South Africa?
Yes, for 10. The current president of South Africa is which Zulu polygamist elected in 2009?
Zuma.
That is right. For 25, Jacob Zuma runs the country from which executive capital in Gauteng province north of Johannesburg?
No. No.
Pretoria.
Bloemfontein, or what's the other one?
Bloemfontein.
It is Pretoria.
Pretoria.
Your next toss-up. Hakuin Ekahuku supposedly asked, what is the sound of what? Yes, Nikhil.
One hand clapping?
No, that is what he said. It is the sound of one hand clapping. That paradoxical question is an example of a koan, a story, dialogue, question, or statement found in the literature of what religion? Harker?
Buddhism.
Right, for 10 points. Meditating on koans is a fundamental aspect of this school of Buddhism, popular in Japan.
Defer. Zen.
That is right. 1974 bestseller by Robert Pirsig treats Zen and the art of maintaining this type of vehicle.
Motorcycle.
That is right for 25 points. Here's your next toss-up. During this war, Alexander Donovan led Missouri volunteers in an attack on the city of Chihuahua.
Mexican-American War?
Say what?
Mexican-American War?
That is right. For 10 points, the Mexican War was ended by what 1848 treaty signed at the Basilica north of Mexico City?
Guadalupe Hidalgo.
Yeah.
Right. For 25 points, just before the end of the war, American forces captured what castle whose name is Nahuatl for Hill of the Grasshopper?
Castle.
Damn it. Churubusco.
Veracruz.
Chapultepec.
There we go.
Here is your next toss-up. Some compounds, but not all, can form racemic mixtures. The first synthetic racemic mixture was made by which French chemist who also discovered a rabies vaccine and process John?
Pasteur.
Right. By definition, the constituent parts of a racemic mixture must have what mole ratio?
1-to-1, presumably?
1-to-1.
That is right. For 25 points, racemic mixtures have equal parts of what specific type of isomer that consists of non-superimposable mirror images?
Enantiomers, yeah.
Enantiomer.
That is right for 25 points. It started out as a village, but had a spectacular rise to power. As the capital of an empire, it dominated the Mediterranean between 200 BC. John?
Rome?
Yes. Cosimo Medici began a political dynasty in what city, where he sponsored work on the Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral?
Florence.
And for 25 points, several members of the Adorno family were doges of what city?
Venice.
Say what?
Venice.
No, I'm sorry, it's Genoa. His 19-year-old son was kidnapped from Lake Tahoe in 1963. Name this singer, nicknamed the Chairman Ananth.
Frank Sinatra.
Correct. Bruno Hauptmann was executed in 1936 for the kidnapping and subsequent murder of what celebrated aviator's one-year-old son? Right. For 25 points, the Symbionese Liberation Army, a left-wing militant group, kidnapped what publishing heiress on February 4th, 1974?
Hearst.
You got 25 points. She was tricked into marrying her husband when he flew in her window in the shape of a cuckoo bird during a thunderstorm. Which Greek... Yes, Anke. What? That is right. For 10 points, Zeus's only grandfather was which husband of Gaia who was overthrown by his son Cronus?
Uranus.
Right. And for 25 points, after Zeus was born, she hid him in a cave on the island of Crete. Zeus's mother was which Titaness? Rhea. That is right for 25 points. A 2002 study on hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, in postmenopausal women was stopped early as adverse effects of treatment clearly outweighed the benefits. The HRT understudy was a combination of estrogen and a synthetic form of this other female...
Progesterone?
What?
Progesterone?
Correct, for 10 points. The HRT regimen studied was found to increase the risk of what type of cancer detected by mammograms?
Breast cancer.
Right, for 25 points. Preliminary analysis indicated that women taking that form of HRT were 44% less likely to develop what fourth most common form of cancer in the U.S.?
Wait, so lung? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, go for it.
Skin.
Colon cancer. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Now it's time to meet the Quiz Kids. Once again, here's Brad.
Thank you. The score is 90 for Bellum and 50 for Harker. Let's say hi to the Eagles right now. Evan Yao, you are a senior and the principal flautist for your community youth orchestra.
Yes, I am. California Youth Symphony, CYS.
And what are you going to be doing this coming few months?
Well, we do have a concert coming up at the Mondavi Center at Davis. It's going to be an all-American sort of orchestral performance.
And you're taking a big trip next summer, too, aren't you?
Yeah, it's in New Zealand with the rest of the orchestra.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Max Eisenberg, you're also a senior, and you got a research grant to do some kind of historical research. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So there's this program at my school called the John Neer Research Grant, and basically it's an opportunity to really learn about American history. So I'll be researching nuclear submarines and how they affected U.S. diplomacy in the Cold War.
You're doing some traveling with that too, aren't you?
Yeah, so I might be going to Groton, Connecticut, and I'll definitely be going to the Reagan National Library.
Very good. Good luck with that. Ananth Subramaniam,
Yes.
senior,
Yes.
took a recent trip to Bali.
Yeah, I did. I got to travel to Indonesia with my family, and I had some experiences with orangutans and all sort of wildlife. That was.
You had an experience with an orangutan?
Yes, I got to have it sit on my lap, and it sort of thought I was its older brother, so played around with me. It was fun.
Some good ape bonding.
It was.
Excellent. Good luck with you on this next round. It's the collaboration round, gentlemen. I have 3 categories. Pick your category. Answer 7 10-point questions correctly, and I will give you a 30-point bonus. The categories today are trees, Animal House, and Voted Off the Island.
Voted off the island. That sounds kind of dangerous. Animal House.
Okay. The answers to all of these questions are a type of animal. What kind of animal is or was sacred to Hindus?
It's a cow. Cow.
Good. What kind of animal was E.B. White's title character Stuart Little?
It's a mouse. Mouse.
What animal was classically conditioned to salivate by Ivan Pavlov?
Dog.
What animal was the athlete man o' war?
It's a jellyfish.
What kind of animal?
Jellyfish.
No, it was a horse.
Oh.
What animal was Nag or Nagina in the Jungle Book?
It's a snake, right? Snake?
Yes, I'll accept that. A cobra. What kind of animal was Odin's killer in Ragnarok?
A wolf. Pretty sure it's wolf. Wolf.
That's right. And what kind of animal was killed in Heracles' first labor?
Lion. Lion.
The Nemean lion is correct. It's 60 points. Congratulations. Let's turn to last year's champions, the Bellarmine Bells, but they're starting with a new member of the team. I didn't see you last year. John Cherian, you're a senior, and part of the National Speech and Debate team. Did you play last year, actually?
I'm a junior now.
You're a junior? Well, good. I've just given you an extra year. And now we've run out of time. Nice talking to you, John.
Yeah.
So you spoke this summer with your debate team. You worked with your debate team?
Yeah, so earlier this year in June, we went to Dallas for the National Speech and Debate Championships. And the event I do is International Extemporaneous Speaking. And it sounds long, but it's pretty simple.
And that's all you get to talk about right now. Congratulations, John. Good for you. We'll blame the floor director later. Ankit Agarwal. How are you, Ankit?
Hello.
You went to London this summer as part of your grand prize. How was that trip?
It was a great trip. We got to go and see a couple musicals, a play. We got to go mess with the druids at Stonehenge.
Always fun to mess with those druids. I'm glad you guys had a good time. And Nikhil Desai, you didn't get to go because you were spending the summer working in a bio-research
lab.
Project.
Yeah, I was working on a bioengineering project in the Stanford Medical School. We were essentially trying to improve a sensor for transmembrane voltage with the intent that we'd be able to eventually visualize signals passing through regions of the brain.
Oh, so much better than watching musicals in London.
It was my job.
Oh,
I had that money.
right. Okay, well, good. I'm glad. It sounds like a great job. You guys are going to have to pick a category and see if you can score those points. Will it be trees or voted off the island?
Voted off the island.
Voted off the island. This is all about islands. On what island did Paul Gauguin paint By the Sea?
Tahiti.
On what island did Bob Marley start the Wailers?
Jamaica.
On what island did King Kong climb the Empire State Building?
Manhattan.
On what island did the Fukushima nuclear reactor suffer tsunami damage?
Honshu.
On what island did William Butler Yeats found the Abbey Theater?
Ireland.
On what island did the U.S. Marines raise the flag on Mount Suribachi?
Iwo Jima.
On what island did Long John Silver search for buried gold?
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
You got 70 points with the bonus. 100 points. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
And now we're back with the second half of Quiz Kids. Take it away, Brad.
Two great teams need two great coaches. Will you put your hands together for the Bellarmine coach, Mr. Chris Fleetus? And to our old friend from Harker School, Mr. Bradley Stoll. Gentlemen, we're back to the three-for-all, but this time the toss-ups are worth 10. A second question answered correctly is worth 25, and a third question is 50 points. 190, 110. Here's your first toss-up. Good luck to both teams. The largest freshwater lake in Europe, Lake Ladoga, lies along a canal connecting the Baltic Sea with which major Russian... Ankit?
Volga.
For 25 points, what city of nearly 5 million, founded as a planned capital in 1703, lies just west of Lake Ladoga?
St. Petersburg.
For 50 points, what river drains Lake Ladoga and passes St. Petersburg on its way to the Gulf of Finland?
Neva.
The Neva is correct for 50 points. You'd be fooling yourself to think the Nile is the only river in Africa. Yes, I know.
Egypt?
I'm sorry?
Egypt?
No. This river is the Central African Rainforest, gives its name to a democratic republic whose capital is Kinshasa.
Congo.
Right. For 25, which West African river flows past Timbuktu before reaching an oil-rich delta on the Gulf of Guinea?
Niger.
And for 50 points, Victoria Falls is located on what river that flows into the Indian Ocean?
Zambezi.
You got 50 points again. Cold War era CIA agents backed Operation Ajax to overthrow Mohammed. Yes, Evan.
Libya.
No, I'm sorry. To overthrow Mohammed Mossadegh. In what country, thereby giving full power to the Shah?
Iran.
For 25, in what country did CIA agents encourage Augusto Pinochet to overthrow Salvador Allende's elected socialist government?
Chile.
In what country did CIA agents overthrow Jacobo Arbenz Guzman to secure the power of the United Fruit Company?
Guatemala.
You got 50 points. And I barely got that out. Next toss-up. Many devices function because of electromagnetic induction. In what device does a metallic core direct magnetic flux between... Yes, Ankit?
Electromagnets?
No. In what device does a metallic core direct magnetic flux between two different coils to step voltage up or down?
Transformer.
For 25 points, what device that's basically a rotating wire loop in a magnetic field provides electricity to a car's systems and charges the battery when the engine is running?
Generator. Or motor. Which one? Motor.
No, it's the alternator. Next toss-up. It's a very familiar melody, but did you know it has lyrics? Faithfully guided, draw near are the actual opening words to this wedding march from Richard Wagner's... Yes, Ankit?
The Ride of the Valkyries?
No. From Richard Wagner's Lohengrin. What is the name of the song?
Differ.
Elsa's procession to the cathedral.
Here Comes the Bride.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Surprise. Okay, in this 1849 essay, I'm sorry, it's not the answer. In an 1849 essay, this man advocated resistance. Yes, Evan.
Turner?
No. Resistance to Civil Government. Name this friend of Ralph Waldo Emerson and transcendentalist author of Civil Disobedience.
Thoreau.
Thoreau is best remembered for this book about his life in the woods near which pond?
Walden.
A posthumously published book by Thoreau describes his 3 visits to the woods of what state, which is also the setting of John Irving's The Cider House Rules?
Isn't it usually Connecticut?
Connecticut.
I don't know for sure. Go for it.
Connecticut.
Maine.
Maine. Okay, yeah.
He died shortly before completing his most famous work, Rome's national epic. Which author of the Georgics? Nikhil.
Virgil.
A number of this man's 116 poems rework Sappho's poetry into Latin. Who was this poet who loved Lesbia?
Catullus.
That is right. Who is best known for an epic in 15 books which includes the stories of Arachne and Echo, the Metamorphoses?
Ovid.
You got 50 points. Their name came from the fact that they were unknown and unclassified at the time of their discovery. In 1895, Wilhelm Röntgen first noted what kind of... Yes, Nikhil.
X-rays.
In 1897, the entities known as cathode rays were shown to be beams composed of what negatively charged particle about 2,000 times less massive than the lightest atom?
Electrons.
Which Nobel Prize-winning British scientist whose son could also win a Nobel used the Crookes tube to discover the electron?
Thomson. Yeah.
That is right, for 50 points. He was born Doroteo Arango. The U.S. sent John Pershing on the expedition into Mexico. Nikhil.
Pancho Villa.
Villa rose to prominence during the Mexican Revolution, which began with Francisco Madero's revolt against which Mexican president?
Carranza?
Diaz.
For 50 points, another notable figure during the Mexican Revolution was which leader of the Liberation Army of the South whose revolutionary agenda focused on land reform?
Zapata.
Yeah,
Go for it, yeah.
Zapata.
You got it for 50 points. The southern portion of the Choco rainforest is found in this country. Name the small South American nation whose... Yes, Ankit.
Paraguay.
No. Whose Andean volcanoes include Cotopaxi and Pichincha.
Chile?
Ecuador. He was nominated for president 5 times between 1900 and 1920. John.
William Jennings Bryan.
No. What frequent Socialist Party presidential candidate was arrested under the Espionage Act in 1918, but from jail still ran for president in 1920?
Oh my God, what's his name? The wall, please. What's his name?
Eugene V. Debs.
Oh, Debs.
He served as a medic on the Italian front in World War I and established his reputation as a macho man. Which author...
Hemingway.
Yes. A gallery of natural history in Key West is named for which author of Birds of America?
Could this...
No,
Audubon.
Audubon.
The Department of Defense was created in the Key West Accords, so named because which president kept his winter White House in Key West?
Any Floridian presidents?
Eisenhower.
No, it was Harry S. Truman. That's the end of the round, 540 to 120. We'll be right back.
Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS.
In our final round, the point value for the questions is 30 points, and we will put 3 minutes on the clock. Good luck to both teams. Here's your first question. What 1965 Nobel Peace Prize-winning organization was formed in 1946? Ankit.
The UN.
No. To give emergency aid to children in nations ravaged by World War II.
UNICEF.
Yes. What doctrine advocated by the 1828 Exposition in protest? Yes, Evan.
Monroe Doctrine.
No, I'm sorry. Of John Calhoun claimed the right for states to deem federal laws unconstitutional and void.
Nullification.
Correct. It was the monstrous offspring of Queen Pasiphae and a creature...
The Minotaur.
Yes. Only 4 college football stadiums have playing surfaces in colors other than green. A particularly notorious blue field is Ananth.
Boise State.
Right. Scott McKenzie is the editorial director for which weekly magazine that in 1958 introduced its Hot 100 based on singles? Evan.
Time.
No. Singles sales and radio airplay.
People.
No.
No, wait. Singles? Rolling Stone.
Billboard?
Yes. The Hub Network recently debuted a TV version of what board game at which a player could finish at either the poor farm or Anand?
Life.
Yes.
The game of life.
The chemical element hafnium is named for this city's Latin name. Nikhil.
Copenhagen.
Yes. A part-time alchemist. Which author of The Skeptical Chemist showed that? Nikhil.
Boyle.
Right. Which Arab nation with Roman ruins at Jerash and a port at Aqaba is named for the river Anki?
Jordan.
Yes. The largest volcanic eruption on Earth in historical times occurred in 1783, releasing the energy... Anke.
Krakatoa.
No. Releasing the energy equivalent of 10,000 atomic bombs. It occurred in what country which sits atop the Mid-Atlantic Ridge?
Iceland.
Right. In complete metamorphosis, what stage of insect development precedes the imago and features Nikio?
The pupa.
Yes. Equilibrium is transitive, energy is conserved, and entropy increases according to the laws 0 through John.
Thermodynamics.
Right. What owner of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and New York World gave $2 million to Columbia? John.
Hearst.
No. To Columbia University to create a series of namesake journalism prizes.
Pulitzer.
Right. Because angular speed decreases with radius, an inner planet can pass an outer, causing what phenomenon in which the... Yes, Anand.
A transit?
No. In which the latter appears to move backward.
No, it's not. Is it precession or is it retrograde motion?
Retrograde motion.
Yes. The Kelvin scale is defined in terms of the temperature at what? Yes, John.
Absolute zero.
No. At what thermodynamic point where water vapor, liquid water, and ice are in equilibrium?
Triple point.
Yes. What 7-letter word can refer to either a substance with unpaired electrons, such as nitric oxide, or to the symbol called a square root sign? Okay.
Radical.
Yes. Who succeeded Raul Lastiri as president in 1973, nearly 20 years after his earlier domination of Argentine politics with the help of his wife Evita? Okay.
Perón.
Right. The domestication of these animals predates recorded history. The ancient Egyptians revered them, yet there is... Max.
Cat.
Right. All Nippon Airlines received the delivery of the first...
787.
No, I'm sorry. The first Dreamliner, an aircraft produced by what Airbus competitor?
Boeing.
Yes. He wrote, and that is the end of the game. 360 Marco with 870. Sullivan wins the game. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Promotional consideration furnished by the Burlingame Scottish Rite, the Knights Templar, Model Compilers, the Bay Area Academic League. Some questions of Quiz Kids are provided by National Academic Quiz Tournaments.